Hurricane weather did not stop a local festival from taking place.
And there's been a break-in on Waynesburg's campus. Welcome to Channel 14 News. I'm Sam Hickson.
And I'm Emily Bennett. Student activities hosted the first movie night of the year. Sam Hickson was there to join in on the fun.
Incredible may be in the title of the movie, but it was also the word to describe the outdoor viewing of Incredibles 2 put on by the Student Activities Board. Hurricane Florence had put a damper on the weather all week, but the sky was clear on Friday night long enough for the students to enjoy a popular Disney sequel. Johnson Commons was quite the setup for the students that included refreshments and a lot of laughs. The event drew a solid crowd and even raised the question, should this become a regular thing?
Overall, I'd have to say the planning and organization of the movie and the event would be a huge deal. The fact we were able to get together as a Waynesburg community will show how much we've improved over the years, and hopefully this will become a regular event with many people.
For WCTV News, I'm Sam Hickson reporting.
This weekend, the area celebrated the 48th annual Washington and Greene Counties Covered Bridge Festival. Each year, the festival is held on the third weekend in September. Typically, there are 10 different locations, but because of the threat of Hurricane Florence, 3 locations canceled. The weather stayed dry, however, and people enjoyed crafts, food, petting zoos, and much more. The festival is regarded to be the signature event in the area and the start to the fall season. The Beehive was full of students last night for the first coffee house of the year. Olivia Faribault performed for an hour singing a variety of music. Free mugs were handed out to students who arrived at the start of the night. Students enjoyed free coffee and music while doing homework and enjoying time together.
Over the weekend, a car was broken into in the Thayer Hall parking lot. Many items were stolen, including sporting equipment, clothing, and paperwork. Security camera footage did not show a suspect, but campus security is looking for the person responsible for the break-in. There are no suspects as of now. Students headed to the Goodwin Performing Arts Center on Saturday night to enjoy a free comedic act by comedian and magician Randy. He performed many different tricks, including mind reading and card tricks. He held the crowd's attention the entire time. Students were brought on stage to even be a part of his act. Randy has become a sought-out magician. He has performed all over the United States, including former President Obama's presidential inauguration. Stay tuned here on WCTV as we will have news from around the nation when we come back.
Back in 7th grade, a kid from England used to drop books on my head.
When I was little, a kid used to lock me in the closet for hours.
Back in middle school, I got made fun of for my weight.
I used to get bullied in elementary school because of my height.
Back when I was in high school, I used to, push kids into lockers, make them buy me chips, stuff like that, but I've regretted it ever since.
Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel has denied his country had any involvement in the sonic attacks against U.S. diplomats. That came in his first interview as president that aired on Telesur Sunday. Diaz-Canel added that Cuba has not attacked anyone and the U.S. has created this fallacy. When asked if his government asked Russia for help attacking U.S. diplomats, he insisted that it's impossible. In late 2016, multiple U.S. Embassy personnel in Cuba began reporting symptoms, including sharp ear pain, headaches, ringing in one ear, vertigo, disorientation, and attention issues. American doctors and scientists suspect the attacks might have come from microwaves. Judge Brett Kavanaugh will soon hear from his accuser. Next week, President Trump's Supreme Court nominee will testify about assault allegations from decades ago. The woman accusing Kavanaugh will also appear before the panel. John Lawrence reports.
Judge Brett Kavanaugh will soon have to face questions about his past. The Supreme Court nominee will testify to a Senate panel Monday about an alleged assault from the early 1980s. His vote for the High Court was originally scheduled for Thursday.
We want to go through a process. We want to make sure everything is perfect, everything is just right.
This will probably shock the White House, but I agree with President Trump when he said a delay is not going to hurt anything. We should have a delay, get all the facts.
Kavanaugh's accuser, Professor Christine Blasey Ford, is also set to testify.
She knew that she was going to be, her allegations were going to be outed, and that, in fact, is what occurred, and as a result, she decided to take control of this and tell this in her own voice.
Ford says Kavanaugh assaulted her while the two were in high school, saying he pinned her down and tried to undress her. Kavanaugh denies the allegations.
For too long, women have made serious allegations of abuse and have been ignored or dragged through the mud. It would be a disgrace if this body and our fellow Republicans let that happen.
An accusation of 36-year-old misconduct dating back to high school has been brought forward at the last minute in an irregular manner.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
State Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, a Republican from Iowa, said in a statement Monday that Ford, quote, deserves to be heard. President Trump is visiting areas impacted by Hurricane Florence today. The president will visit both North and South Carolina to see the devastation firsthand. Myrtle Beach is one stop. A North Carolina location has not yet been announced. Trump won't be alone on the trip. Republican Senators Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott will fly on Air Force One as well. Trump tweeted Tuesday that, quote, everyone is saying what a great job we are doing with Hurricane Florence, and they are 100% right, end quote. Indicted Republican Congressman Chris Collins will remain on the November ballot despite suspending his re-election bid last month. His attorney confirmed he's still in the running for a fourth term in New York Monday, citing possible legal challenges by Democrats that could result from efforts to remove Collins from the ballot. The Buffalo area congressman faces charges of securities and wire fraud and making false statements related to alleged insider trading. Collins has rejected the charges as meritless and vows to fight them. But last month, he announced he would suspend his re-election campaign, saying he believed his decision was in the best interests of his constituents. Collins' decision to move forward with the re-election could put his solidly Republican seat in jeopardy. Erie County Republican Committee Chairman said, quote, this is a big curveball. He said Collins' ongoing legal battles could be a distraction that complicates Republican efforts to hold his seat against Democrat Nate McMurray.
Bill Cosby's wife Camille is calling for an ethics board to investigate the judge set to sentence her husband on felony sexual assault charges. She's expected to file a complaint with the Pennsylvania Judicial Conduct Board. Bill Cosby was found guilty on 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault in April for drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constand at his Philadelphia home in 2004. The Cosbys say they've hired a former FBI agent to investigate trial judge Stephen O'Neill and key witness Bruce Castor. Castor is a former prosecutor who had initially declined to prosecute Cosby. Cosby's wife said O'Neill had a grudge against Castor. Defense lawyers have filed a motion in Montgomery County asking the judge to step down ahead of the September 24th sentencing. Cosby faces up to 10 years in prison on each charge. Hurricane Florence has caused so much damage, and more natural disasters are just making matters worse in Virginia.
First the wind, then the rain, and flooding. Now tornadoes. That's the latest devastation brought on by Hurricane Florence, this time in Virginia, where at least 6 different counties were affected by multiple tornadoes Monday.
Unfortunately, here at Old Dominion Flooring, 1 employee is confirmed deceased, and we have our crews on scene that will be working to recover the body here shortly.
As Florence moves northeast and dissipates, it will drop a final few inches of rain in the already waterlogged region.
We've been preparing for and living through Hurricane Florence for more than a week now. But this remains a significant disaster that affects much of our state.
Once the rain stops, the water will continue to rush downstream, causing catastrophic and historic river flooding, according to the National Weather Service.
The next few days will be long ones as the flooding continues.
And one of the biggest concerns, this river, which is actually parts Interstate 40 and I-95, major arteries through the state that have been cut off, and officials can't say exactly for how long until the water goes away. From Fayetteville, North Carolina, I'm Omar Jimenez.
Fired FBI veteran Andrew McCabe plans to publish a tell-all book in December. It appears to be his way of striking back at the Trump administration. McCabe spent almost 22 years with the borough, including as deputy director. But President Trump targeted him after some Clinton allies supported the state Senate campaign of McCabe's wife. An ethics investigation over another matter led to McCabe's termination this year. He was fired 2 days before he could collect his full pension. The book is called The Threat: How the FBI Protects America in the Age of Terror and Trump. St. Martin's plans to release the book on December 4th. 10 people were hurt when a Miami-Dade transit bus crashed into a building on Sunday. Officials say the bus hit a truck first, then a pillar outside a clothing store. 2 people in the truck were seriously injured. 8 people on the bus had minor injuries. A witness says the truck was speeding and ran a red light before hitting the bus. Police shut down the intersection to traffic following the incident and urged people to avoid the area. Officials say a structural engineer will assess the building to determine how to safely move the bus. Find out which online payment apps are safe and unsafe to use. Stick around for Emma Hurley's Business and Entertainment Report.
Whether it's paying a family member your portion of the phone bill or splitting the bill on Taco Tuesday, chances are you've used a peer-to-peer payment app like Venmo or Zelle. In fact, 76 million people use them. But which ones are the best and safest to use? In today's Consumer Watch, Kim Hutcherson has a closer look.
Your smartphone is replacing your wallet. Mobile payment apps like Venmo, Zelle, and the Cash App are quickly replacing cash when it comes to paying friends and family. All 3 allow you to link up your bank account, type in a dollar amount, and send the money fast. The biggest difference is that Venmo is the only one that lets you get social. You can post about your transactions and interact with others. Zelle is setting itself apart by going after older users. The service is already built into many mobile banking apps like Wells Fargo and Bank of America. Zelle also puts that cash into your recipient's bank account instantly. On the Venmo app, instant payments cost 25 cents, and you must have a Visa or MasterCard. Instant deposits on the Cash App will cost you 1.5% of the total amount you're trying to send. Consumer Reports recently rated all 3 apps secure to use. They recommend you follow these 3 tips for the best experience and to reduce your risk. Number 1, opt in to extra security. Take those extra seconds and set up protections like a PIN and features that require a special code to confirm payments. Number 2, keep your app up to date. If you have the old version, you're missing the latest security protections. And number 3, it may sound obvious, but only send money to people you know. For Consumer Watch, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Actor Jack Black received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Tuesday. School of Rock director Richard Linklater and writer Mike White gave speeches about Black during the ceremony. Black told the crowd that he has wanted a star since he was a kid. He also told his fans that he would do Jumanji 2 and one more installment of the Kung Fu Panda series before he retires. Black will be seen starring opposite Cate Blanchett in Amblin's The House with the Clock in Its Walls, set for release on September 21st. This fall, he says he will be touring with his band Tenacious D for their new album, Post-Apocalypto. Retailers are offering up holiday gifts to workers in the form of lots of holiday temp jobs. Macy's said it will hire 80,000 seasonal workers. Gap said Monday that it will bring on 60,000 temps. And Target announced last week it will need to hire 120,000 holiday employees. Delivery companies like UPS and FedEx are looking for 155,000 more workers between the two. It may be hard to fill so many jobs, so as incentive, Target will offer temp workers $12 an hour, store discounts, and a gift card lottery. You may have trouble getting a Big Mac and fries today. Workers at McDonald's around the country are planning to strike today, sending a message that sexual harassment must end within the company. This is the first time a walkout like this has been organized since the #MeToo movement started. Employees in 10 cities are participating. These cities include Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles, New Orleans, and San Francisco. The National Women's Law Center says there has been many instances of sexual harassment in McDonald's. The strike is aimed at bringing awareness to the idea that the fast food company isn't doing enough to prevent harassment at local restaurants. The 70th Annual Emmy Awards had its share of surprises, both some of the winners and a moment that surprised almost everyone. David Daniel has the highlights.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. The big winner on TV's biggest night was The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. The Amazon series picked up 5 Emmys, including Outstanding Comedy Series and Lead Comedy Actress for Rachel Brosnahan.
It's about a woman who's finding her voice anew, and it's something that's happening all over the country right now. One of the most important ways that we can find and use our voices is to vote.
HBO's Game of Thrones returned to win a pair of Emmys, including Outstanding Drama Series, while FX's American Crime Story, The Assassination of Gianni Versace, took a trio of trophies, topped by Outstanding Limited Series or TV Movie.
1 out of every 4 LGBTQ people in this country will be the victim of a hate crime. We dedicate this award to them.
One of the night's biggest ovations went to Henry Winkler, who won for Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series for HBO's Barry, the first Emmy of his long career.
I only have 37 seconds. I wrote this 43 years ago.
Okay. The 70th Emmy Awards included a standing ovation for 96-year-old TV treasure Betty White.
It's incredible that I'm still in this business, and you are still putting up with me.
But the night's most memorable moment no one saw coming, except Glenn Weiss, who won an Emmy for directing the Oscars and used his acceptance speech to tell his girlfriend, Jan Svensson,
"You wonder why I don't like to call you my girlfriend? Because I want to call you my wife." Will you marry me?
On a night of winners, what could be a sweeter win than that? In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All today from business and entertainment. Stay tuned for Mitch Montani's weekly sports update.
The Ava K. Mulvey Public Library has provided service to the Greene County community for over 75 years. One of the services provided is a free tutoring program for children and youth. Waynesburg University students participate in this program, helping out children from the Greene County area.
I think it's a really good program to help the local kids and the community kids, and just so that they're around university students and college kids that they can look up to. I think the library is pretty great for the community. I think it's pretty essential for the young kids.
And I love coming here to hang out with kids who have a heart of pure joy. Coming here is really relaxing, and you literally just get to act like a kid with them and help them throughout the way.
Greetings, I'm Mitch Montani with your Channel 14 Sports Report. The Waynesburg football team fell to 0-3 on the season last Saturday. WCTV's Antonio Palula was there to cover the action.
The fireworks started early when the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets took on the Bethany College Bisons. The game saw both Waynesburg quarterbacks getting action and both Waynesburg quarterbacks getting hit. The team allowed 4 total sacks in the game. But Waynesburg was also able to deliver some hard hits of their own with 6 tackles for losses, and this crushing hit from the junior linebacker Tyler Smith. The scoring started with Jake Doherty, who got to see the action the first half. Doherty was scoring on a 46-yard touchdown run. The Jacks were able to convert the PAT for a 7-0 lead. That lead didn't last long after a 39-yard touchdown pass from Dom Santorino. Then this 5-yard touchdown run from Wright gave Bethany the 13-7 lead. Then Sean Cole hit a 22-yard field goal to make it 16-7 at half. Tyler Perrone started the second half going 8 for 16 for 97 yards, and this was the lone highlight, a 38 pass to Joanne Jones. The defense did cut the lead to 16-13 on this 77-yard interception by Vashawn Graham, but the Jacket momentum would not last long. As Wright would get his second touchdown on the night, he finished with a total of 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. Game ended 22-13 with Bethany win. Bisons move on to 1-2, while the Jackets fall to 0-3. WCTV, this has been Antonio Palula.
Waynesburg will now set its sights on Geneva, who is currently at the opposite end of the standings. The Golden Tornadoes are 2-0 in conference play and coming off back-to-back wins. The game between Waynesburg and Geneva will be at John F. Wiley Stadium on Saturday with a 1:30 p.m. scheduled kickoff. You can catch the game on WCYJ-FM with Alex Lyons and Matt Mansfield on the call, or on the Waynesburg University Sports Network with Paul Zalakar and Antonio Palullo. The Waynesburg men's soccer team is currently playing a non-conference game at Pitt Greensburg, which started a little over an hour ago. The Jackets came into the day at 2-4 in conference play, coming off a 4-0 loss at Mount Aloysius last Saturday. After today, Waynesburg will only have 2 games left before starting the PAC portion of its schedule. As of today, Nate Biondi and Tyler Sisler lead the stat charts for Waynesburg with 4 points apiece. The Jackets will play host to St. Vincent a week from Saturday. The Waynesburg women's soccer squad also had a game scheduled against Pitt Greensburg for today at 2 o'clock. The Jackets were 4-1-1 coming into today. Their most recent game was a 2-2 tie at Mount Aloysius last Saturday. Emily Hill has been the most dominant force for Waynesburg with 3 goals and an assist through the first 6 games. They also play St. Vincent a week from Saturday at home for the first PAC game. You can check out the results from both the men's and women's matches from today by going to waynesburgsports.com. The men's cross-country team finished 6th out of 10 teams at the Allegheny College Classic, while the women's team placed 4th out of 7 teams. The men were paced by Matt Durgan, who finished the race with a time of 22 minutes 51 seconds. Including Durgan, each runner in the top 6 for Waynesburg was a sophomore. The women were led by Aubrey Wingart, who had a time of 18 minutes 59 seconds. The Yellow Jackets had freshmen and sophomores occupy 5 of the top 7 spots. Both teams will compete in the Waynesburg Invitational on Saturday, which will take place at the Greene County Airport. The Yellow Jackets volleyball team played its third game, PAC game of the season against Grove City last Friday and were swept 3-0. With the loss, Waynesburg comes into the day at 0-3 in the conference and 1-10 overall. The Jackets will travel to Westminster tonight for a 7 o'clock match, still seeking their first win in conference play since the 2015 season. The Waynesburg women's tennis team had a match at St. Vincent at home, which started around an hour ago. The Yellow Jackets played on Friday when they lost to Grove City 9-0 at home. As of now, the overall record for Waynesburg is 1-1. Today is the second conference matchup for the Jackets on the season. They are still after their first win in the PAC since September 30th, 2016. And finally, the Waynesburg women's golf team will take on Carlow University on Saturday. The men's golf team plays in the Westminster Invitational on Monday. That's all for sports. Brandon Rossai is next with your 5-day weather forecast on Channel 14 News.
There are little things that you can do to help you when you're driving a car, but the one thing that you shouldn't do when driving a car is texting and driving. In fact, at any given time throughout the day, approximately 660,000 drivers are attempting to use their phones while behind the wheel of an automobile. And 11 teens die every day as a result of texting while driving. According to the National Safety Council, 25% of all automobile crashes are related to cell phone use. Don't text and drive.
I didn't realize what a fine line it is between social drinking and a problem. I hadn't even noticed what was happening, and then he was gone. Hi, honey. He's gone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Channel 14 Weather Report. I'm Brennan Rossai for the 5-day weather forecast. And well, Hurricane Florence has come and gone, and in the end, it didn't hit western Pennsylvania too badly. And miraculously, John F. Wiley Stadium is afloat this time. Today, we've been blessed with mostly sunny skies with a high of 81 degrees. Expect some clear skies tonight with a chilly low of 58. Now, looking at tomorrow, we've got a hot, pleasant, sunny day in store. The high will pinnacle at 84 degrees. It will be partly cloudy throughout the day, but nonetheless, the point stands. It'll be a miraculous day. You can also take some time to go outside, take a stroll outside, walk with the dog, or you can play with the guys that play Frisbee in the Johnson Commons. At night, we've got clear skies on a much warmer 69-degree low. And looking ahead to High School Football Friday, it's going to be a hot one this week. This week, 86-degree highs on another mostly sunny day. There is a stray shower or thunderstorm that could be possible within the area, and the winds will be blowing pretty strongly at about 13 miles per hour from the southwest, but otherwise a very gorgeous day. However, when day turns to night, keep the umbrella on standby. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are expected to roll through the area. Gusty winds also in store, low of 60 degrees with a 50-50 chance of precipitation. Now looking to Saturday, you'll be awoken to showers in the morning. Those showers will peter away by the time we reach the Waynesburg football game, but it's still going to be a pretty chilly 70 degrees compared to the rest of the week, that is. At night, clouds again blanket the nighttime sky with chilly 56-degree lows. And on Sunday, the high dips into the high 60s at 69 degrees, some sun in the morning and increasing clouds during the afternoon. On Sunday night, those clouds will give way to a 60% chance of occasional showers on a 57-degree night. And like I said, luckily, John F. Wiley Stadium, it's safe for now, but you never know.
Make sure you check on Twitter. Is John F. Wiley Stadium underwater?
If you're the person that runs that account,
awesome.
Bravo. Just
we would check it. Coming up some more rain, but hopefully not flooded anymore.
The ducks and geese are safe for now.
The rowing team is out of session.
And no more PAC Water Polo Championships.
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you for tuning in to Channel 14 News.
Make sure you tune in every Wednesday at 5. Good night, everyone.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.